out the challenge or what they're doing and stuff.
That's intriguing. Cheyenne said in college they might have to ask that. What type of class in college might they have to do that? Like if you're reading about a character, what do you think, Gilbert? What type of class might you have to do that?
You probably have to do
Second,
that.
Gilbert.
My mom, she told me you got to figure out and Ray Lee showed me a let's give her I like it.
That's the way, I like it, That's the way, I like it,
Beautiful. I like the way that we're keeping our brains, our oxygen, sitting up straight, ready to roll. I'm excited. Harper, awesome. Ready to roll in 3. Let's look at our CPQ.
Comprehension, purpose, and questions.
Awesome. Nia, can you read out first, please? You can do it from your seat.
How does Grace's self-confidence shift or change by the end of the story, and what was the result of that shift?
Now, but I know like I wrote it in my own words. Nia, can you paraphrase it in your own words, please?
What this
Track
means
your
is
brothers and sisters.
that how was Grace's self-confidence in the beginning, middle, and end, and how did it change or shift, and what did she do to change, and why did she do it? Like what happened? What was the result?
So what was the result? So what's another way of saying the result? Like what do you think? Another way of saying like what was the result? And I'm excited to get started. As we read today, we're going to analyze and think about what Grace says and what Grace does. You can open the door, please, their name. What Grace says and what Grace does to give us clues about who she is as a character. You can pause.
She was a manager and she was dancing at the time.
Beautiful, awesome. So let's right now, so we're already going to think about our characters who?
Grace.
Who's our character?
Grace.
Grace. We already know our character is Grace. So in this column, we're going to think about what her different traits are. I love the zest and the perfect LPIC from Warren. Thank you, Warren. We're going to think about her traits. But we're going to think about what she says and does. That gives us clues and leads us to determine what her traits could be. 1 second, Cheyenne. Go ahead.
One of her traits can be uncanny.
Uncanny. Why do you think that she's uncanny?
Because not a lot of people are very imaginative.
So she's saying that already. I like that you're tracking Cheyenne. Cheyenne, can you justify, please?
Like, for instance, Jay Sean is very uncanny, but...
So I am so excited because we've been reading different parts of our Amazing Grace series, and we're going to take it back to the original Amazing Grace because I think that this character is so rich and full of all these awesome examples of how we can pick out different character traits. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get ready. Amazing Grace. Our bodies are still tracking forward. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were books and movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she heard them, and sometimes while they're still going on, Grace would act them out. And she always gave herself the most exciting part. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm just thinking, scholars. Your hands are down, just listen to me. So already, I can pull out some of the things that Grace is doing. I know that Grace, when she hears stories, either when they're told to her, she's reading them, she acts them out in her what?
Mind.
In her mind. Interesting. So the first thing I can say, I know one of her, her actions, because what she does, her actions, is that she acts things out in her own mind. She plays them, and she visualizes them in her mind. That's intriguing. Acts out text in her mind. So when I'm thinking, we're pausing Gilbert, when I'm thinking about what different character trait that could be, I'm curious, what do you think that trait could be? Someone who acts out things in their mind, and when they read something, they create vivid images in their mind. I'm seeing a few zesty hands. I'm not sure. It's okay if you're just still thinking. You can have some wait time. If you're still thinking, I see Michaela's thinking. Tracking Gilbert.
Tracking Gilbert. She can be imaginative, shallow.
Shallow. Do you think shallow? Imaginative, I can see it. So are you saying imaginative? Can you justify that, please?
Imaginative. She can be imaginative because she have a lot of stuff that she remember in the stories, so she acts them out and play like the book about I think it was
Loud and proud, Gilbert.
I think it was the book that was called the Princess Grace. Yeah, Princess Grace. That was the book. When she was doing the magic stuff, imaginative stuff.
So that's intriguing. So Gilbert's not only saying that she's imaginative because she acts out text in her mind, but he's also making a text-to-text what?
Connection.
A text-to-text what?
Connection.
Right, between Amazing Grace and Princess Grace. That's intriguing. So you say she's imaginative. What else could she be? Or do you want to keep going and let's find out? Let's see. What do you think, Ontario? Tracking Ontario.
Tracking Ontario. She has a lot of confidence in herself because like when she acts it out, she does it with a lot of confidence, and it's like she's not that shallow when she does it. When she acts out the things in her mind.
I like the way that Ontario elaborated. Yes, Nia?
Ontario, I would like to elaborate on your answer. I think that Grace is confident because most people they will be afraid to act something out, and if she loves to be read books, she must be read books often, so she often acts out the traits of the character in the book.
All right, awesome. So I'm already excited that we're already identifying so many different things we could use, but we're going to pause it there and keep going. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Hold it, baby girl. Thank you. Thanks for the brotherhood. Thank you. Let's keep going. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc and wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. Ooh, this girl is imaginative. So I'm still thinking, and she's still proving that she's imaginative. So as she's reading about Joan of Arc, who is a famous woman who led for her people, she's imagining that she's a warrior in that time period, thousands and thousands of years ago. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. She was Hiawatha, sitting by the big sea water, and Mowgli in the backyard jungle. So we're going to pause here and already start thinking. Now I think we have a lot of textual evidence. We're going to pause. Thank you. We have a lot of textual evidence so far. Now that we've noticed that Grace is imaginative, what are some other character traits that we can pull out based on the textual evidence? Again, we're going to pause here. We're going to pause for hands. Thank you. Because Nia's going to discuss Nia's for discussion. So what other character traits can we pull out about Grace based on the textual evidence? Go ahead, Nia.
Ready!
Ready!
Set! Discuss!
Discuss!
I think she's immature. She gave confidence. And then so she went to different places. So she was like, at first she came off with 7 seas, and then she said she was like inspired, and then that's what she said she was great, and water. So she was like really adventurous. So she was so hard to be like I had a sheet.
And in one, looking for zesty hands. Looking for zesty hands. Oh, wow. Let me see. Tracking Dwayne.
Another character trait that Grace is, she's creative because because she created her own personality and thought she was going to use it on. She made her own.
Intriguing. So she was able to create all those minutes. Wow. So we think that she is what? Creative. Agree, disagree, show me. Okay, so a lot of your classmates agree with you. That's intriguing. So creative. Creative. And so could you please, oopsie.
Would anybody like to elaborate or expand or change his answer?
I see that you use SENs.
Larry.
I like to elaborate.
Lot of profit.
I like to elaborate. I think at the beginning of the story, when she was reading the story, she probably had a little bit of the story to be. So imagine, like she was doing a pilot, they followed that story she read.
Say it one more time, let them figure.
I think another trait for Grace is I think she is silly.
You think she's silly? What makes you think she's silly?
I think she's silly because when she was acting out the mistake, she acted like she was looking at a spider.
Like she's a spider. So let's pretend real quick that we're spider. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3. Back to LP. How do we stop to attention? Thank you for that focus. That was 2 points. So we can say that she is silly. Silly or
Humorous.
in conjunction with humorous. Nia, so you think that she's also humorous. Why do you think that she's also humorous?
I think she's humorous because most kids, they wouldn't just act out. They wouldn't act out. They would say what it was. They wouldn't act out who they could really be. And she shows what she could really be.
Thanks. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter Pan," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. Yeah, Xavier's he's like, yeah, I like that. All right, said the teacher. Lots of you want to be Peter Pan, so we'll have auditions next week to choose parts. She gave them words. I auditioned. Let's keep going. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" asked Mom. "Raj said I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "That just shows what Raj knows," she said. Mom looked angry. But before she could speak, Nana said, "It seems that Natalie is another one who doesn't know anything. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it." Try again, Ontario. Let him proud, babe.
It looks like if she was back in the day when people was racist, she was standing up for her rights and the other people's rights.
Intriguing. What's the name of someone who stands up for their rights and rights of others? Trust with an A. Track and Jasmine.
Another word for standing up for other people's rights is an advocate.
It's a what? It's a
Advocate.
It's an advocate. So already her mom is saying like, no, you're gonna be an advocate for yourself and other black girls like you. You can do whatever you want. Let's keep rolling because we're gonna like to pull out some text in a second and a turn talk. On Saturday, Nana told Grace they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand 2 claps for Lauren. This entire time he's been tracking and is so focused. 2 claps, ready to go. 2 claps, ready to go. Thank you. That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad, said Nana. Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me to do tickets if I want tickets to see Rosalie dance. So this time, I said yes. So we're going to pause here. We're going to turn, talk, and think. Oh, I like the way you're not anticipating. Thank you. So far, have we seen Grace's self-confidence shift? Again, have we seen Grace's self-confidence shift so far? Let's discuss.
Ready.
Ready.
Say it.
Say
it. Discuss.
Discuss.
I know that when Grace
she felt confident because when her friend said Peter Pan was white and it was white, she kept her hand up for self-confidence, and then when she was in that way, she had more confidence than she did that was in her play. I also agree. Because when your mom said that
I heard some very intriguing discussion from Deshaun and Cheyenne, but I also want to hear from some other scholars. So, Dr. Bell, could you please share out with us what you and Warren discussed?
I have a connection. When I was in first grade, we was doing Tinkerbell, and I wanted to be Hank. He said, this boy and this girl, they said, I can't be Hank because I'm black and he isn't.
Wow, that's intriguing. So with that, do you think that Grace's self-confidence has shifted now that you already made a personal connection to the text? Do you think that her self-confidence shifted from the beginning of the story?
Yes, because when she was in
Great tracking, Warren.
she was confident because she didn't care what they said, but when she got home to grandma, she remembered what they said, and she thought she couldn't be.
That's intriguing. Okay, who would like to elaborate on that? Go ahead, Jen.
Like when she realized that Juliet is white and like the other girl is white, she probably gonna think that if the girl can play Juliet and Juliet is white, she can play Peter Pan even though Peter Pan is white.
Gilbert, go ahead.
And I think from the kids, what they were saying about her, they should pay confidence back to what kids do and they walk around and they don't imagine stuff. But her grandma had shipped her confidence back in place. She came back adventurous and she started using her imagination more. Then when they start talking about her, then she started doing other things that people couldn't imagine in her class. And so it was like that people used to hate on her and say, no, you can't be this. You're not even a boy. You're not even a girl. So
they were hating on her?
So she was annoying them saying, you can be quiet talking to me because in my head I am.
Okay, Gilbert. We're going to pause there and keep going. Thank you.
Miss Harper.
All right, thank you so much. And what is your textual evidence that she's adventurous, Gilbert?
Because she had all this stuff that she did. She was going against a spider. She acted like she was a pirate. And she acted like she was a princess next to the sea. So she was going to places that was in her head and she was being adventurous because it was like she was traveling around the world in her head.
She took a deep, as if I could fly, the whole way home. You probably could, said Mom. Yes, said Nana. If Grace put her mind to it, she can do anything she wants. So we're going to pause there. Let's look at our CPQ one more time.
Comprehension, purpose, and question.
All right, so Nia, I want you to paraphrase it. Let's do it a little more succinctly this time. So we know let's go back and return to it. I'll have to get out of your way. How does Grace's self-confidence shift or change by the end of the story? And what was the result of that shift? So Nia, can you paraphrase? So what are we actually asking? What are we going to analyze right now?
Right now we're going to analyze.
Nia.
Right now we're going to analyze what happened at the end of the story and how did her confidence change at the end of the story and what was the result of that shift.
So how did her confidence change and then what happened because her confidence has shifted? So please take out your journals and your pencil and your CPQ and put it in your lap. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. No, baby, on the CPQ don't. Thank you, Keon. Like there's this. 2, and yours right there, baby. And 1. Yes, we Tracking Ontario.
Said when the answer, like, the question.
We'll pause again. Tracking Miss Harper. Thank you. Tracking Ontario.
The question when you said like how their confidence changed. It looked like her friends were trying to pull her confidence down, but then when she went home, her mom and her grandma pulled her confidence back up so she could be whatever she wanted.
That's really intriguing. So I think Ontario will give you a really interesting foundation to make your assertions off of. So we're gonna write for about a minute and a half, and you're gonna answer the CPQ. I'm gonna step out of the way so you can look at the CPQ. You're gonna record your answer, and we're gonna go back to our discuss and discuss when we finish. You got 30 more seconds. All right, 10 more seconds. Ready back in 3. Hands down in 2. And 1. So, thank you so much, Michael. So, please check over here. Thank you. So, what you over? Thank you, sir. So, what you all will do is that I'll call you over. Go back to your seat. And when it's time to discuss, we'll discuss our CPQ. And then from there, we'll jump into independent practice. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, back to your seat, please. I'm Taylor. Okay, next we're back to your seats quickly. 5. Back to your seats in 4. Thank you for urgency to play in 3. Mia, come here. Looking for excellent help. Thank you so much. Jasmine, you've been conversing with this entire day. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, John. So, we know our protocols for how we do discussions. We're going to commence. You may discuss.
As a girl, a black girl, she was really confident to play the role of a white boy in the fairy tale. And even though that's all the kids said that she couldn't play because she was black and because she was because she was black, she still wanted to play. So we're going to do next for Rob. We're going to do next. Even if people, let's say that like, I want to you know that she was black, she was a girl. I'm Peter Pan.